What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Neighborhood Podcast. One of the hosts of the podcast, my name is Kyle Dabro. So in this video, we're going to talk about the news of the Philadelphia 76ers opening up trade discussions for Ben Simmons. So Ben Simmons is coming off one of the most infamous playoff performances in recent memory. I'm specifically referring to the series that he had against the Atlanta Hawks in the Eastern Conference semifinals. So in that series in particular, he was abysmal, and that's putting it mildly. He averaged under 10 points a game, shot around 50% from the field, but on not too many shot attempts. And in the 7-game series against Atlanta, he shot 15 of 45 from the free throw line. That's 33%. And Ben Simmons is getting paid top dollar to be an excellent player for the Philadelphia 76ers, and he has not lived up to those expectations. And it was in this series in particular against the Hawks where it showed his vulnerabilities at the worst possible time. So it's like I mentioned, with his free throw shooting so bad, they couldn't even put him in the game in late game situations because all Atlanta had to do was foul him, send him to the free throw line, and more than likely he's going to miss one, if not two free throws just because he's so inconsistent from the free throw line. It made him basically worthless at end of the game situations, and his lack of assertiveness really hinders his ability to be a top line player in the NBA. And when I look at the trade offers circulating around Simmons, I imagine that teams see Ben Simmons' value at the lowest point possible right now. So that's why I think a lot of teams are at least open to the idea of trading for Ben. Now, with that said, if the 76ers are going to trade Ben Simmons, they're going to have to get somebody in return. And there have been multiple reports circulating that Philadelphia wants a all-star caliber player in return for Simmons. Now, do I think that they will get that? Possibly. I don't know if they're going to get a tier 1 player back for Ben Simmons. I imagine that they could get a tier 2 player. I'm not talking about Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. Those guys I'm not even really discussing. I'm talking maybe like DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry. Those are probably some players in particular that they may be able to get back if they trade for Ben Simmons. So, when I see the situation circulating for Philly here, you're in a bad spot because his value as far as Simmons goes is in the toilet after that playoff performance against the Hawks. Now, for teams that are possibly going after him, it could work out, but you have to understand that you're taking a huge risk with trading for Simmons. Ben Simmons can't shoot, and he doesn't take any three-point shots whatsoever. He's pretty much beholden to maybe shooting mid-range jumpers here and there and him driving to the lane. Now, I will say this. I don't want to be too harsh about Ben's game. Ben is still a solid passer. His ability to facilitate and to get rebounds, I can't overlook. He does those things particularly well. But in the game of basketball, you have to score. And the fact of the matter is that he is too inconsistent for my taste to be worthy of being a top player wherever he goes. Whether he stays with the 76ers or he ends up getting traded. And for me personally, I don't know if it's worth it to make this move for him. I have to see some sort of development from Simmons. And up until this point, I have yet to see it. Now, there have been other players in the league that have come in and they've had weird shooting mechanics. They've had trouble shooting free throws. I could name Lonzo Ball, Markelle Fultz as a couple of examples. Markelle Fultz from the free throw line, it looked like his shot was completely broken when he was playing with the 76ers a couple of years ago. But over the last year or two, he has developed his game. It's unfortunate that he tore his ACL in the beginning of the 2020-2021 season because I felt like he was going to be one of the better players in the league this past season, but it's unfortunate he went down with a major injury. And Lonzo Ball, since I mentioned him, he came a long way after college when he was shooting a diagonal shot from UCLA, and he has now developed his game to the point where he is a average to above average NBA player. From where he started, that's quite impressive. So I do think that Ben could develop his game. I think for the most part, just develop a mid-range game. I'm not even worried about three-point shots yet. If he can build those mid-range shots up to the point where he can knock down 40, 45% from 15, 20 feet out, that would be tremendous for his game. And I don't want this to get lost in translation. I want to see Ben Simmons succeed. I think all of us want to see Ben thrive in the NBA. It's just unfortunate that his skill level is just not there yet. He's not able to execute to the way that I think that we all want him to be. I definitely think that he's capable of being one of the better players in the league. It's just at this point, I have yet to see it. And look, Philly is not going to tolerate Ben Simmons' inconsistent play. I know the fans have been very supportive of Ben throughout the years. And I've seen multiple videos of the fans in the stands cheering him on after he misses a free throw. They have been with this guy for a couple of years. But I think this playoff series against the Hawks may have been the last straw because he was awful. And I'm not mincing my words when I say that. He was horrific. But I could see him turning this around. I could. It may take a year or two, but I do think that if he focuses on his game this offseason, because he's not even playing for Team Australia in the Olympics this year. I think he's devoting his time to trying to develop his game to the point where he could be a solid player for whatever team he plays for this upcoming season, whether it's the Sixers or somebody else. That remains to be seen. But I think he can do it. I think he's just got to bear down here. Hopefully he can make some things happen this offseason and can come into next season ready to go. That's my hope for him. But as far as his trade value goes, yeah, I think teams could definitely make a move to get Ben, but they have to understand that it's going to cost them at least an all-star caliber player in return. Is it worth it to me? Not really. But, his value's at the lowest point right now. You are taking a major risk, and it could work out. I'm not going to count that out here. But just with recency bias here, I can't really say that Ben's going to develop his game to the point where trading for him is going to be worth it in the long run. But that does kind of remain to be seen. And I just hope that Ben can turn this around. Ben's a good dude. And I just hope that he can make some things happen this offseason so that he can come into this next season as a better player than what he was in the playoff series against the Hawks. I do think that he's capable of that, which just time will tell. But with that said, you guys, that'll wrap it up for me. If you guys like the video, please like the video below. If you guys want to support the channel in any way, shape, or form, please hit that subscribe button below. Any sort of support that we can get for the channel, Kevin and I definitely appreciate it. So thank you guys again for tuning in and watching the video, and we will see you guys later.